Alex Tardy here from Weather Echo. We're going to have a weather insight here. Take a look at the May conditions and what the spring and summer has in store for us potentially. All right, across Southern California, the main issue has been the drought. So unfortunately, drought's been prevalent across our region. That's the lack of precipitation over the past rainy season, about 50% of average. The drought has really expanded, though, all the way into Texas along the Mexico border and parts of the upper plains as shown here. Now, we have seen some relief. That relief shows up on this map. The green is the improvement in the drought from recent heavy rain, showers, and thunderstorms. That's Texas into Oklahoma, parts of the upper plains, and even the East Coast up into southern New England. And a few pockets of improvement from thunderstorms that produced heavy rain in Arizona. Now you can see across the United States, May has been much warmer than average in the upper Midwest and the northern plains. Cooler than average with the jet stream that we're going to talk about and the very active weather, showers and thunderstorms across the Southwest, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. So no surprise there, those conditions have been cooler. Now across California, not much signal in Southern California. But look at the signal in Northern California, so much above average temperatures. So we've seen significant drying and curing of the vegetation. So fire weather conditions have increased rapidly in that area with the warm weather in the month of May. What about the ocean temperatures? So down on La Jolla Scripps Pier, where we have sea surface temperatures dating back to the 1920s, we can see that conditions are right about average. That's the blue shaded line there. We've only seen 6 cloudy days, though, in San Diego. So 6 cloudy days, that's below average for a month. So we've seen more sun than clouds. So that's been a nice change compared to the past 2 prior years. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, precipitation across the United States. You can really see the weather pattern here. This is showers, thunderstorms, and the severe weather, such as the tornadoes. Now, from the desert Southwest to Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle, Southeast United States, up into New England, that is where the active, unusually active jet stream has brought wetter than normal conditions. So whenever we have different types of weather, we like to compare it to normal to see how significant it is. Now, precipitation numbers are shown here. Really wet conditions in the southeast up into New England, and a pocket of active weather has brought thunderstorms in the northern plains. So unfortunately, this has helped for drought conditions such as southern New England, but this has not helped with severe weather. So we've seen a repeated storm track across the Tennessee Valley and Mid-Atlantic region in that active zone. Now, precipitation in California has been really wet in the desert Southwest. So the desert Southwest doesn't usually see much precipitation. So this is opposite of what we've seen this past winter or rainy season. We're not in the monsoon yet, but we've seen some showers and thunderstorms from a couple upper lows, a couple storm systems that have been unusually far south. Now, when you go into Central California, that area should be getting a little bit of precipitation from storms, and they have not. So very dry conditions, Central California. And fire weather conditions have developed in Central California as well. Now, if we look across the west for this past rainy season since October, the water year, the desert Southwest stands out as much drier than normal. About 50% of average in the San Diego Riverside area. Now, the only place that was above normal was far northern California, and then some recent heavy rain in New Mexico has brought them above normal as well, as shown here. Now, temperatures have not had a signal across Southern California, but overall across the west, warmer than average. So with those drier conditions came warmer temperatures or lack of storms this past rainy season or water year. Now, let's take a look at the storm track in May 2025. So why so wet? Why so much severe weather? Why cooler? So the jet stream shows it all. So a dip in the jet stream across Southern California into Texas and the Southeast. So no coincidence. This is where our storm activity has been. This powerful jet energy has interacted with the Gulf moisture into the Southeast, and this is a prime recipe for severe weather, heavy rain in these areas. So with some of that drought improvement has unfortunately come a lot of severe weather along that jet stream. So that jet stream is more typical this far south in perhaps March rather than May. And we can answer that and show that objectively here. The blue shaded means cooler, more stormy than normal, much further south of a jet stream than you normally would see in May. Now, we've also seen some blocking warm patterns develop in southern Canada, New England, and over the central Pacific. So this jet stream is certainly not normal for the month of May. Very active across the southeast and even southern California. So what's the outlook for the rest of May? Warmer than average conditions. So that is evident in the orange shaded for the Intermountain West and even the West Coast. So that could mean more sunny days, but unfortunately that means increase in fire weather threat as we continue to rapidly dry out across the West. Very wet, active weather and cool conditions in the Tennessee Valley and the southeast up into New England as shown here. So potential for more severe weather and flooding rains. Now what about for early to mid-June? We see a signal of very significant warming out of Texas. So that could lead to significant heat waves and some fire danger along the southwest and the desert southwest. But more wet conditions expected early to mid-June for the Tennessee, Ohio Valley, and the southeast as shown here. What about this summer outlook? So for June through August, high confidence of warmer than normal conditions across the west. So this is a significant development that could occur not just for heat waves, but for fire weather conditions across the Intermountain West. Now, the monsoon looks like it will be active in the extreme desert southwest, so maybe not expansive across the west, but active where it does occur in Arizona and New Mexico. East Coast, unfortunately, more very significant, making up for some of the precipitation in the Mid-Atlantic region and southern New England, so potential wet summer in that area. Now, when we look at weather models, a multi-model ensemble, we can see that conditions are expected to be warmer than average across most of the United States. We also see a wet signal in the southeast part of the United States or the Mid-Atlantic region. Now for our monsoon, could be right around normal. So we don't see much signal in that area. Now within this, we see for early to mid-June, there is a signal of significant warming by mid-June, warmer than normal for Central California and the West. So what starts as potential heat wave in Texas could expand further. So we could be looking, the bottom line is warmer than normal conditions for the summer, significant heat waves starting in June, and that poses significant threat for fire weather conditions. Speaking of fire weather, so our fuel moisture in our vegetation has been kept green or moist longer than normal in Southern California, but we're rapidly drying out. So the conditions we've seen in Northern California could be expanding in Southern California with rapid drying along with that warm weather. So the curing of our grasses, our weeds, our brush could lead to, if there are starts, increased fire weather activity. The official outlook calls for that as well. So the red shaded means more fires and larger fire potential if there are starts in ignition in those areas. So especially when we get into June, July, and August for Southern California. And a lot of this will be tied into the heat waves that are anticipated for this upcoming summer. We hope you found this weather insight useful. We're on other channels of social media as well. Thanks for tuning everyone, and be safe out there.